Welcome back to Houston Life. The next time you are passing through Midtown or hanging out there, you might notice some vibrant new art on bus stops and underpasses. And that art was officially unveiled to the public last Thursday.
And it's all part of the HueMan Shelter Project, highlighting the voices of the unhoused community. Our producer, Sabia Mahmood, met with some of the makers to hear the stories behind the art.
We're at Spur 527, the Milam Underpass, where so many different cars from all over the nation pass by. Man, like these artists right here, they're artists. Yeah. Who may not have had the opportunities that I've had, you know? And so rather than erasing their contribution to this wall, I wanted to collaborate with them. And so the exterior concave of this wall will represent the colors. It's to say that like a life existed here before I got here.
Yeah, that expands and pours into like what career recovery is and what it means to us. How to be mindful and being disruptive when it comes to create that type of dialogue about what's
not
happening,
monologue.
what the unhoused really represents and what it is.
Each of these colors represent the vibratory function that the different community members that are part of my team played in the story. Like the nature of each color represents the context, the highs and the lows through the stories of 7 formerly unhoused people. There's Tammy, there's Tracy, there's Lee, there's Terrence, there's Brandon, Jose, and then this color is dedicated to Dennis. So this color is a memorial, and each of the pillars over here will be represented. So you'll follow the color from this wall through the beams to those pillars where there are these installations in the form of a sculpture, and each person has a shape.
This is your way of showing some dignity to some of the unhoused people who live here. And like you said, showcase them as human. Is that where the title came from? For this mural project?
It is. Cynthia was sort of the person who gave life to that title. Hue, H-U-E-M-A-N, hue meaning color.
Okay.
Which is why the color composition of this wall represents the people to remember our humanity.
So how many people do you have in your team?
My team is made up of 16 people. So when I begin my projects, I'm an anthropologist first, which means that I'm occupationally nosy. And then from my anthropological listening, I get an inspiration to create. This is Tammy, and Tammy's been doing public art along this corridor and this spur for much longer than I have. And so when I came to interview folks who live in this area, she showed me her artwork, and she's a part of my team presently. She's an employed person who's a part of my team, and we're working together to get her off the street. I like to activate community-engaged artists.
And is Chris one of them?
Chris is not one of them.
I actually have my own team, and I'm doing one of the Metro bus stop installations. My cohorts are part of Career Recovery. They're our lead candidate and client, and they are helping us to promote the disruption of the stigma of the unhoused. Me being an illustrator, I was able to take my cohorts, and our project is called Following Your Dreams. And I actually sat down and we talked about and we narrated each one of their dreams and what they wanted to do and pursue to integrate back into society. So when you see our mural, our project at our bus stop, you're actually gonna see the actual faces of my cohorts and who each one of them are and what they represent. 2 of them are actually a couple, and they have a vegan food line that they've actually started. And then I have another individual in my group that is a phenomenal storyteller, and he also is starting to reintroduce himself into the fabric of society. So in promotion of not just our artwork, it's been my purpose to re-energize my cohorts on the things and their dreams that they're passionate about.
Career and Recovery Resources for 80 years has served individuals who are low income and who really are marginalized. When we were approached with the proposal the idea that we have the opportunity to highlight the stories of the individuals we serve. For me, it was important that the artists chosen were sensitive to the population that we serve, that they understand that they are the human piece to this. It serves several purposes. One, beautify the underpasses, but two, it tells powerful stories of these individuals that we all see in the greater Houston area. It humanizes them and tells a story in a way that allows people to see them as part of the community. And three, it gives them additional income earning opportunities, and it gives them opportunities to learn skills that they may not be able to learn anywhere else. Like, we have clients who are learning how to paint, how to mix colors, how graphic design works, and how to tell your stories using photo and video. So I'm hoping that the clients will see that they have an expanded support system, that everyone is rooting for them. So I'm just hoping that this enables them to get a few steps further in their stability path. Career and Recovery Resources is dear to my heart because I tell my staff all the time, like, when you walk in here in the mornings and you see the population of people who come into this building, if that does not give you pause to be grateful for just having a roof over your head, I don't know what will.
All right, when we come back, we're going to find out where you can see some of that artwork and learn more about the inspiration behind the project.
Yeah, we're even going to meet some of the leaders who helped bring this project to light. Don't go anywhere. Houston Life will be right back. Welcome back to Houston Life. So before the break, we met some of the creators from the HueMan Shelter Project, which is providing opportunities for the unhoused community through art.
And joining us now are some of the visionaries behind the project. Founding director of Midtown Cultural Arts and Entertainment District, Cynthia Alvarado, along with Midtown Houston's project manager, Chandler Snipe. Welcome to you both, ladies. There is so much to unpack, and we're going to try to just get through this in just a few minutes. When this project, when the concept first came to you both, compare to us and contrast, like, did it meet your expectations? Did it exceed your expectations?
I think for me, it absolutely exceeded our expectations. One of the goals of the project, or the goal of the project, is to get unhoused individuals kind of back into society again, whether that is through job training skills, emotionally, spiritually, helping them gain confidence and the wherewithal to find their way back into society. We had 40 individuals that were part of these cohorts. When we first thought of the idea, I felt like if we could get maybe 2 or 3 people re-engaged, I would feel like we had hit a home run. But it's my understanding through all of these stories, we've exceeded that, and people are feeling better about themselves, more confident, taking some of these job skills that they've learned during this project, and hopefully, spreading their wings out into the world.
Wow. Chandler, you're smiling, you're nodding along. How do you feel about this project, how it's been not only visually so beautiful, but the inner workings of really beautifying our city from the inside out through people and art?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Charlotte, North Carolina, and one of the main reasons why I moved to Houston was because of the amount of creativity and diversity that this city absorbs. And so with that, when I was brought onto the project, I didn't think, when Cynthia told me about how amazing this project was going to be, and she brought me on, because I was brought on specifically for this project. And so, essentially you learn that, $1 million actually does not go a long way, because there's so many things that are required, because we actually employed the unhoused to work with the cohorts, because we did not want them to feel exploited. We didn't want them to feel essentially as subject matter, but collaborators, because this project was way more than just art. It was more about impact, and just hearing some of the stories. We actually had the artists meet with all the cohorts, and they explained their mediums that they use, and then the cohorts from Career and Recovery chose who they wanted to work with. So giving, in the first 5 minutes, giving them their power back to make that decision. And so, we had one cohort member who actually chose to work with Chris, who is one of the graphic designers on the project, because his son was a graphic designer and he wanted to be able to connect with him. And so even those little tidbits has been amazing to see.
Well, and it seems like for our unhoused neighbors here in Houston, having a purpose, right, is so important. The fact that they could be involved in this project, maybe find a path back to doing something that they once loved as a child. Tell us, how long will this art be on display? Because one of the first questions I had when I saw these beautiful bus shelters, the murals, the light projections, is this something that we could keep around for a while in the city?
Yeah.
So that is the whole goal. So the bus shelters will actually be up until December 2026.
Lovely.
And then
They look awesome, by the way.
Yes. And then with TxDOT, you know, we were very thankful for them coming to the table to be being such a part of an artistic expression. So that is up until around mid-2026. But for the large-scale mural that is on Career and Recovery's building, that is there until the building comes down.
Nice.
Wow.
So, yes.
Cynthia, how did you go about picking the artists, and did they choose a location? How did that work?
So we put a call out to artists, and thinking about as we worked to select artists, we had a panel that worked to select artists. We needed artists that would be empathetic and understanding with the project, that would be willing to put the cohort first, the folks that were working on this project first. And ask, what was the second question?
And then the locations. Did they choose their locations?
No, they did not. I worked with a lady named Marcy Dallas. She and I went through the neighborhood trying to figure out the locations that we would select. We decided on, taking it to the street, really, if you will. So we know that unhoused individuals we see them sometimes underneath the underpasses and at bus shelters. So that was how we organized all of that, and also at Career and Recovery Resources, because that's where the whole project started. So we made the determination of where the locations were going to be, and then we asked, never thinking that TxDOT would actually say yes, and they did. And they've been a remarkable partner, really a wonderful group to work with, and Metropolitan Transit Authority also as well, and then Career and Recovery Resources.
And we should point out so many public and private entities came together to make this happen. Cynthia Alvarado, Chandler Snipe, thank you so much for stopping by Houston Life. And it really is a phenomenal project, beautiful in so many ways. We have a million questions. Sadly, we're out of time. We do want to remind our viewers that the 6 artwork locations are now open to the public across Midtown Houston, mostly on Milam Street. We will be posting a link with more information on our website, HoustonLife.tv. Ladies, thanks once again.
Thank you.